Hey, it's your man Style Con, coming at you today with another video, and I'm on that Rolex kick still, about to get off of it in a minute. But today's topic of discussion will be how Rolex truly doesn't like the middle class. You say, Style Con, they don't like the middle class. The middle class buys more Rolexes than anyone. How can they not like us? Simple. It's very simple. And I did my little research before doing this video. Rolex doesn't advertise with middle class athletics. Rolex, they typically, if you follow the brand, now don't get me wrong, some of these sports aren't very expensive, but they can be. Now, I like to play tennis. Well, I used to play tennis. My knees won't let me do it anymore. But tennis with lessons and rackets, if you want a private court, I can get to be very expensive. Now, you can go to Walmart and buy a tennis racket and balls and just go out and play on your own. But they sponsor things like that. They sponsor things like golf. Golf can be very expensive, between having to get your clubs made for you custom, between golf lessons, if you want to take some, getting time out. Some golf courses are very expensive, $300, $400, $500 for a round of golf. That's salty. And then they're in the yachting. Now, most of these things, when you think about it, the middle class doesn't do. I'm not saying they don't play golf, so don't get me wrong. I'm not saying they don't play tennis. Most of them aren't yachting, but you notice if you go to the tennis court or you go to the golf course, which I've done, you don't see a lot of people wearing Rolexes. You just don't. But now, guess what sports they don't sponsor? The biggest sport in the world, soccer. And obviously, if you're in the U.S., that's what we call it, but around the world, it's called football. More Cristiano Ronaldo and all these other guys, Nehemiah, they wear a lot of Rolexes. The NBA, there's a lot of guys in there that wear Rolexes. The NFL, they wear Rolexes. A ton of these guys do. And guess what? That's where you should lead your marketing to. The sports that are putting the watches on your wrist. You can check out any YouTuber or just look it up, Cristiano Ronaldo or whatever, how you pronounce his name. I screw up my words from time to time. He's got a ton of Rolexes. There's NBA players have a ton of Rolexes. And I think personally they're directing their marketing in the wrong place. I mean, obviously people play golf, not saying that, but when you have the biggest sports in the world, golfing is nowhere near the NFL. Golfing is nowhere near soccer. But you refuse to advertise with these sports. So that tells me that you really don't care for the middle class purchasing your watches. Because if you did, you would sponsor more sports that pertain to the middle class. Soccer goes a gambit. You got poor people, middle class people, rich people. But guess what? It's the middle class people that keep Rolex in business. And when you think about it, if they don't want to advertise where you're at, why should you want to buy what they're trying to sell? And on that note, it's your man Style Con. Thank you for taking the time out of your day to watch my video. As usual, if you have any questions or comments, leave them down below, and I will check you out in the next video.